Station Gang, welcome back to another installment of Ink and Insights, our weekly comic book breakdown show where we talk about our favorite books from the previous week of releases, Marvel, DC, Image, and the Indies. We got a great lineup tonight. We got some fun news to talk about. Can't wait to get into it. As always, I'm joined by my brother E from 9 Panel Grid. E, how we doing, bro?
I think I'm doing okay. I slapped my router on the side a couple times here. I unplugged,
Oh yeah.
replugged everything. I'm feeling maybe better tonight. We're gonna find out, but I'm feeling like it should be a little bit better.
All right, man. You never know how it's gonna go with the internet, dude. That's that's how it goes. So it's
They'll
all
throw you
good.
curveballs.
Yeah, man. Good to have you here. What up to everybody in the chat? We got Bob in the building. It is, bro. It is about the BKO clobbering time, man. And Rooster, what up, man? Hell
What
yeah.
up?
On time related. It's great to have you, bro. Good to see y'all both. Shout out to everybody else in the chat who isn't saying what up. We're still happy to see you. Thank you guys for coming through. Hope everybody's doing well on this Wednesday. Rough day out there in America, but we're just gonna be here and try to spend 90 minutes putting some positive energy back out into the world and try to lighten the load a little bit. So let's talk about some comic books, man, and some killer news. We got the DC brackets this past week, bro.
Yes, let's.
We got our merch. I love the tourney style matchup. So what else could we do but go through these matchups and talk about what we like and what we don't. First of all, general thoughts on some of these matchups. I like how some of them are wild and unexpected, but some of them are
Yes.
some of them are personal, some of them are feel classic. But I just love the variety we got. There's a little bit of everything here, and they keep it spicy, man. They keep you guessing. So some of these might seem like they're one sided, but I can't wait to see where these go. And this has got to be so much fun for these creators and editorial to play with about who makes it to what stage of the contest and stuff like that. I can't wait to see what surprises and a shocking twist they have in store for us, and just like the creative challenge it is to put a good fight on paper. So I don't know. General thoughts on the matchups, bro.
I'm excited. I think this is gonna be fun. And DC has no joke. They have years of good grace, and it's been building and building and building for me. So while this seems a little bit silly and a little outlandish, dude, guess what? You've earned it. Go ahead, take big swings, right? And if it doesn't work, that's potentially okay. Just don't take too many big swings that don't work. But I'm just ready for this. I'm really excited. The matchups look interesting. Some make sense. Like you were saying, some of them make sense. Some of them are like, whoa, where did that come from? But it's kind of cool because this reminds me of Marvel versus DC back in the day. And I remember it felt like when they were determining the winners and losers of each one of those matches, I feel like there were lawyers in the room. Well, okay, if you get this, I get this. And if you get this, because they all wanted to have the best outcomes to show that they were the best publisher. This is just pure DC. So they have a lot of ability to get playful with things. And
Yes.
I'm here for that.
Amen, bro. Amen. Real quick, we got a Mega in the building. What up, man? Morpheus be on the list. Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, man. Let's get this escapism turned up, dude. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Let's crank that up to 11. Yeah.
Bob says he's rooting for King Shark. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, let's get into the matchups, and I want to hear y'all sound off in the chat too. Who you guys what fights are you here for, and who you liking? So, dude, what stands out to you? This is the left side of the graphic and the bracket. Who of these, which stands out to you the most, and what are you looking forward to?
Okay, so if I'm being honest, yeah, the Aquaman King Shark one really jumped out at me, just because it's it's almost like you couldn't get more creative than that, DC. You couldn't do anything. I think that Aquaman has a lot of potential to do a lot more cool things. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more because there's an issue that dropped today. But that one definitely jumps out at me. Connor Hawk being one of the contestants as well, as opposed to Oliver Queen, is kind of telling. But also we get the same thing with Jay Garrick. So we get a little bit of the new generation, a little bit of the old generation. Like they're throwing everyone into the fire on this one. It looks like, but a lot of
Captain
it things.
Captain Adam and Power Girl is going to be a slugfest. That's going to be interesting to see.
Is Captain Adam is the one. He was just recently in a series where he kind of like went crazy, right? Was that Jenny Sparks? Was he the?
I'm not sure, bro.
Okay, I think
I
he was
don't know.
like the person that everyone's like, oh, character assassination.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. What about Superman and Giganta? Obviously, that's one of the bigger ones on there. How you feel
I mean,
about that?
it's again interesting. This is where my DC blind spots come from. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, like Giganta, I think it's right there in the name. I think I know what kind of character this
Giganta,
is.
Giganta's the 16 seed type of deal, though. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's a 1 for 16. That's a fair way to start off. I feel like.
but I mean, there's always a dark horse though, too, man. We've seen enough March Madness to know that the 1 seed isn't always the one that actually makes it through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Very true. All right, guys, but you out there in the chat, what are y'all looking forward to out there?
yeah. I think
Bruce
we had a
wants to
couple
see
more.
Aquaman versus Black Lightning.
Oh well, yeah. That could get dicey real quick. Zap zap.
Rogue in the building. Rogue, what up, bro? Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming through. Always good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well.
I think we got
Rooster
near
says,
zero. Oh, I think we
"Oh
got
yeah,
near zero hanging with us as well too.
oh hell yeah, dude.
There
Welcome,
we go.
Miss Zero. Thank you.
What
What
up,
up,
Zero?
bro? Hell yeah, thank you for coming through. Good to see you as well. Um, I lost it, but yeah. Oh, here we go. Rooster said, "My money's on Plastic Man, but Lobo's a tough first round." Yeah, I think Lobo's on the other side. We'll get to it.
He's a man with a
Um,
plan, so you
yeah.
never know.
I'm intrigued by Jay Garrick and Cheetah here. I think that'll be a fun one. Guy Gardner and Firestorm. I'm also looking forward to. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this it's an interesting set of matchups here. Like I think that there's a lot of easy selections there, but you know that there's going to be some that sneak through. I want to know why you highlighted this one. What
Well,
jumps
so
out to
this
you
is
about this?
this was just at the tail end of the. I
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
I didn't separate it right, and it was at the tail end. I don't know. This one's going to be wild, though. I love this. Yeah, I'm here for that one.
I'm a stand for the demon, dude. Give me Etrigan. Like I know that that character is very divisive, but give me Etrigan all day.
Yeah. So Lobo and Plastic Man. That's going to be wild as shit. Swamp Thing and Vixen. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, come on. Swampy is kind of a little bit all powerful. He's like maybe too powerful.
Yeah.
Dude, look at it.
Batman.
Damian Wayne though. Like I mean, this one, Damian Wayne and Jason Todd going head to head.
First
That
round.
that's exciting stuff. That's going to be a cool battle.
Zatanna and Barda's pretty cool too. I kind of like that.
Dude, I
You don't
like
like it?
Zatanna. No, I love it. But the problem is I like both characters and I like Zatanna, but dude, I don't think that Barda walks away with an L.
I know. Barda's such a beast. I don't want her to walk. I don't want either one of them to walk away with an L.
I know.
Harley Quinn and Metamorpho is interesting. I feel like Metamorpho is going to take that. It'd be cool to see Metamorpho kind of go deep in the tourney.
That
I
would
feel
be an
like
interesting one.
that's just all about how you write him, you know. But,
Yeah. Well, and I wonder what characters DC believe need a glow up. You know what I
yes,
mean?
right.
Like because they're
They're
gonna
gonna-
pit someone in there and be like, all right, now we're gonna elevate them, and this is like the beginning of something. I don't know which character it is yet,
If
but
it's
somebody's
Connor
gonna.
Hawk, that would be funny as shit.
Hey, throw some respect on Connor Hawk, okay? Like he's
I'm
legit
just saying.
too.
I know, but if like he was the one, I enjoyed that little Williamson run that he was in when they were at the Lazarus Island joint. Did you ever read that?
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, that was fun, man. I enjoyed like his relationship with Damien and everything in that.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know where Jimmy's at, bro.
Dude, Jimmy ain't making it on this.
He's in the NIT. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's a good thing. Starro and Wonder Woman's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's Starro. They have a lot of room to be fun with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's gonna be fun stuff, man. I hope my boy Batman goes deep. No lie. I know it's corny. I know it's played out, but I hope the Bats goes deep in the tourney. You don't think it's going to happen? Don't be making faces. What do you think? No? Oh my God. Is that the fucking spoiler thing, you know?
No,
Oh my
maybe. I don't know. I'm just not putting my faith behind the
Not Star Sapphire. Say it ain't so.
I'm just saying, man. You know, all I'll say is that Bruce is really good, arguably the best when he's prepared.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what
Alright.
that means.
You and your fucking coded messages.
Can
Yeah.
we talk about Plastic Man? And maybe I'm misinterpreting it. Is Homeboy wearing a headband? Is he out here like freaking
Might be.
Cobra Kai, getting ready
Yeah,
to
he's ready to
high
go.
kick some people?
He's ready to go. That's
Let's
gonna be wild. I can't wait. I hope, man. Just in like I don't know some of the creative teams on some of these pairings. We got to do that.
Oh
But
yeah.
or is it the whole thing going to be like the Williamson Snyder kind of creative amalgam helming this thing?
Let's
I
find
think
out.
I'm sorry to make you do research. I thought it was just mainly Williamson, but I don't know. I think Snyder has a
No, they both have a hand in it, but I think that so it's like so for DC All In, basically Snyder is kind of handling and spearheading everything absolute, and Williamson is kind of handling everything DC proper. But when it comes to creative teams,
oh. So story is Williamson, story and writer is
is
Snyder.
Scotty.
Okay.
Javier Fernandez on artwork. Yeah. This is gonna be fun, regardless of what it is, man. Like it's gonna be fun, and I'm here for it.
Some boss variants for number one.
Dude, okay, we got
And
Rogue
dude,
asking the right questions though, man. We got to get a sponsorship from DraftKings, right, or something like that. Like we'll start letting you know what the over under is on each one of these fights for sure. So
I
DraftKings,
think
hit us up.
we should definitely do a poll or something like that where maybe we like each pick a couple people from each side, you know, and
I
go
think
from
that's a
there or
great
something
idea.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we got to do that.
That would be really, you know, what would be genius is if they release some type of way to like make a tourney and do it with your friends type of shit, like a March Madness type of deal.
Yeah, dude, come on, we got to be able to do something on like the ESPN app or the
Yeah,
Yahoo app or
let's try
something.
and figure something out. We'll try and figure something out, guys, and that
Yeah,
would be super dope if we could do a tourney together. But yeah, one way or the other, we'll make it semi-competitive. But yeah, man, absolutely. But I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Cool idea. So, yeah, that's really all we have for the news. But we do want to talk about a few books before we get into our featured comics of the evening. Um, dude, any of these that you wanted to highlight one more than the other? I think I could probably guess at a couple, but
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, of the ones that you got listed up there, dude, Savage Sword of
yeah,
Conan. What an awesome I don't know. I can't really say kickoff to this event. The Serpent event that Jim Zub has been hyping up. It's really just been building and building. This whole greater arc has had the Stygians like in the back. Well, I can't even say in the background either. They've been like front and center, but it's been the escalation game. It's been building and building. And like this issue, not only is it stupendous and very much akin to what we're getting in Conan the Barbarian proper, but this is in that magazine format, and we got that newsprint, and we got Doug Braithwaite's artwork in black and white in like all of its unpolished glory. It just looks awesome. It looks so freaking good. If you haven't, if you're not a Conan fan, this is gonna change your mind. Go pick this up. Go become a barbarian along with Conan, man. You're gonna thank me for it later. It's amazing. It's so good.
oh yeah. Great recommendation, dude. Can't go wrong with the Magnolia cover either, folks.
No,
You know
that
what I
doesn't
mean?
hurt.
Especially on Conan. That's super cool. I just
Hmm.
want to shout out kind of Absolute Soups and Poison Ivy just being consistently great. You know, I think Absolute Soups issue, you know, he's getting tortured and trying to have his mind basically like rerouted. It's a little bit of Clockwork Orange machinations going on here by Brainiac, and Raza Ghul wants results sooner than later. And yeah, we have some background things going on with Lois and Jimmy and the like, but just a consistently great, it's really surprising series for me. I think it's been awesome how long it's held me and really brought me in. And I think it's had some really cool twists and turns, like with the ruthlessness and the bizarre, atrocities that this Brainiac character is committing, and also Ra's al Ghul earlier. But yeah, man, it's just been such a pleasant surprise month to month, dude. You still enjoying it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I mean, Jason Aaron is like quietly doing like really consistent work across the board. And I feel like a lot of it just kind of like ends up falling to the wayside. But Absolute Superman has like, again, like we've talked about it. I don't think anyone had like super high hopes for it, but it started off really strong and it started off very interesting. And it's just kept building and building every single issue. It's kept me along for the ride. Can it improve in some areas? Absolutely. I don't think writing is one of those, though. I think that Jason Aaron's story has been incredibly sound, and it's kept me like really entertained.
Hell yeah. Speaking of Aaron, we might as well just use that as a segue into Turtles.
Yeah,
How you feel about the end of the
I'm depressed, bro.
I am too, man. It sucks. It's because I love Juan so much, and it's just like I know he's doing his covers now, and he's got some things coming with Marvel, but it's just like, man, I don't know. I just wanted it to be that book for him, like a Transformers, where he really went like 20 some issues and did something special. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It
like
is what it is.
yeah, it feels like they brought Jason Aaron in to be like, okay, get the brothers back together, and he did that, and he did it in a really entertaining way after after those first 4 or 5 issues. It was really when Juan Ferreira came on the book, though, that it really took off and became something special. And now that we're losing that, it sucks, man. It just really sucks, because I feel like it's putting a damper on my experience knowing that ahead of time, and it's putting a damper on my expectations for the new creative team too. Because I'm already in my head, and I'm like, it's gonna suck. I hate this stupid book. Like I'm like, I'm a petulant little teenager over here. I never even liked Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Idiots.
It was so great, man. I think about all those like dark, gritty, cloudy scenes he gave us, on the streets of the
Dude, the cross sections, man, like the subway scene where the
yeah,
turtles are just
the
like
big
kicking
fight,
butt.
the double page fight and spread and
Oh,
all that. That was glorious, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a lot of really cool. And again, we looked at it, and like both of us, not only both of us, but like multiple people have called it out. Like it felt it felt like Mirage Turtles, not Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman necessarily for the art, but it felt like when those other artists took over, like Eric Talbot or something like that, where it felt like they were putting their stamp on the turtles, and it was starting to really
Yeah.
take off. And that's what really
Yep.
sucks. It was like, oh, back down.
So true. So true. Yeah, and then Poison Ivy is just another consistently great book, guys. I can't recommend that one enough. I think we have covered it here from time to time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, just G. Willow Wilson has done a great job with Ivy, and also like the supporting cast really just um, brought out all Croc and Janet from HR, and uh, all the characters kind of associated with the Green, and she's done a great job also digging into the lore. All the similarities that some of the elements of Ivy's universe that cross over with Swamp Things and stuff like that. So like it's been really cool to see her in that playground, and her character work here has been exquisite, and the covers on this run, the variants are always amazing. And yeah, man, I think, and like we're on issue 30 something now. I forget which one this is. I'm talking about right here, but just
uh,
just
late
brilliant, man.
late 20s, right? If I'm not mistaken, but
Uh,
yeah,
Is
definitely.
it 20s? I'm sorry, I thought.
I could be wrong too, but like, I mean, and I have you to thank though, for me even beginning to read this, because it was already late in the game, and you're like, this is like really good. This is like one of the shining examples of like how recommendations can work in such a beautiful way. Because it's like seriously like one of my, like every time I do my review videos and I put my ranking clip out there to show like kind of where everything falls in its place, it's consistently in the top 5, right, on the weeks that it comes out. It's awesome. I mean, it is stupendous. And apologies, I know I just picked up my phone. I was still totally listening to you, but while you were talking, you kind of sparked an idea for me for the Inkies later on. So me and you, we'll have to talk about that.
Oh yeah. This is issue 36, bro.
Is it 36?
Yes.
Dang. Okay.
Shout out to the team. That's awesome.
Especially shout out to DC for allowing that too. So hopefully the sales are also dictating that, but like that's awesome across the board. Great stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Real quick before we get to our featured books, we got folks came through in the chat and talking about some things. Yeah, man, McMullen cover. Say less, right, Bob? Zero says this show turned me onto Poison Ivy. It's great fun. Hell yeah.
Yes, dude.
Oh my god, the covers are glorious, man. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
And Stu, we trust.
Great to hear, guys. Yeah, it's been great, Bob. It really has. It's really come on. I felt like it kind of lagged there. I feel you there around like 3 to 5 or something like that for me. Right before we hit that second arc, I guess.
I think it's like after we got off of the Krypton portion of the story and we got to Smallville, I feel like it kind of like stumbled a little bit, but it righted itself pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely recommend you guys check that out if you have a chance. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Pete in the building. What up, brother? Good to see you.
What up?
Hope you're having a great week, man. Thank you for coming through. Always good to see you, bro. Bob says one for Kryptonite Spectrum. Yeah, dude, he did that variant. Did you see that variant? It was ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. Putting it into perspective right there.
Such a brilliant artist, man. Everybody go support him on his next book, that Spider-Man book he's got coming in, I think in a month or two, right? Did you guys cover that on Nick's show?
Oh man, you kidding me? That show kicks off at like 5 o'clock in the morning for me.
You don't remember everything?
No, it is a fever dream every time I'm on that show.
Pete said he grabbed that Alex Ekman long cover. That was glorious too. Have you seen that one, E?
Dude, it's
so
awesome.
Alex is an artist who uses a lot of like collage like techniques in his stuff, and it's glorious, man.
I'm looking it up now because you all are killing me here.
Giant Superman in the clouds. James Phelps in the building. What is up, brother? Good to see you as always. Thank you for coming through. Oh yeah, we got so many great people in the house. Hope everybody's doing well. Bob says Juan's Edge made me feel like the first time I read Turtles. That's beautiful, bro. Can't ask for more.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, I'm looking at these Kryptonite Spectrum covers, and thank you, chat, for pointing these out, because dang, these are amazing. These are really cool.
Absolutely great calls, guys.
I'm totally not going to steal those for next week's covers of the week. By the way, totally not going to do that. Wink.
Anyway, moving on. It's in Heights Comics, man. Let's start with the premiere of Matt Fractions Batman. We were here last week. Our boy E broke his blind bag phobia live.
No, that didn't happen.
Yeah, he did.
No, there may have been some.
It was amazing.
There was some desecration that occurred, right? But the phobia is not broken.
Del Otto cover. It was awesome, dude. It was a great time.
It was fun. Okay, I said it out loud on stream. You all heard it. I'm never going to say it again, though, so forget it.
But here we are. Fraction Jiménez, the book we've all been waiting on, especially with these hush delays. Am I right? Yeah, dude, this was a fun, vibrant, different, less dark, grim, full of action, kind of bombastic Batman. It was something else entirely, right? Just general thoughts on this Batman, this world, and how you felt initially after reading the issue. I will say I was trepidatious after my first read. I didn't know how I felt. it took me a couple times going through it again and sitting with it over the course of a couple days to I think really you know enjoy this one, and I also love what Jimenez is doing here. I do think even though this does mirror I think what he was doing with Zdarsky, it's different in its own way. So um I quite enjoyed it, at the end of the day. It did take me a minute to sit there. I was kind of on the fence at first, though. How did you feel?
Yeah, no, I had a very similar situation. I knew I enjoyed it from the jump, but I couldn't put my finger on why, and I definitely had my quirks, I guess, right, with the issue. I feel like Hush really I hate to say like I have not read Hush 2, so I'm not speaking to the
Yeah.
quality of the book, but I just feel like Hush 2 should not have happened, right? It shouldn't be part of Batman proper. If you wanted to throw it in as a mini series, if you wanted to do something, the timing needed to be better because this is coming right off the heels of Zdarsky's Batman. And to do them dirty like that and put that thing in between that you can't even finish really, really hurts what could be accomplished here. But I still feel like the artistic quality, even though it's great, it just feels too similar to me. I really
Mm,
would have liked them to take a bigger, different swing because I feel like the writing is doing that. And that's where like it took me a second to really dissect like my feelings on the books. I'm like, I don't like what are they trying to do? Like what are they trying to accomplish? And what I want them to do is continue to explore this introspective Bruce. I want them to continue to like really dive into the feelings, the character motivations, the structure of him as a person, right? And I think they do a really great job at this in this issue. But if it's a one and done thing, if they don't come back to explore this empathetic Batman, then I think it could be a failure. But I don't think that that's the case because it feels
no.
like this was an issue that didn't have big stakes necessarily. It didn't set anything up. It wasn't like a cliffhanger where it's like dun 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 and something happens. It really was about Bruce. It was like about him being in his head, and I want more of that. So
Yeah.
if that's what Matt Fraction's if that's the rail that he's on, then like just stay the course, man. Do that because I want that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's well said. I think they changed up. That's part of the reason why they they were so adamant about the color change, right? And like the vibrancy of Gotham. I think because they knew that the art was kind of going to be in that similar vein, and I guess
Yeah.
the color palette up would help in that sense. I would, yeah, because his Batman of old. I thought the bat like just his classic Batman look, um, really didn't change that much from I think, I should have what I should have done is put a side by side. That would have been interesting to see. I do think where it changes is in the Gotham that he kind of created and like the looks for like I love the look that he gave Croc in this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Like
really
this
cool. And I
was
like that they explain it too. They don't just like push it aside like, oh, well, Croc looks this way because that's how I wanted to draw him. Like they gave it some kind of reasoning behind it as well. And it plays into the character too.
right. And it was really cool to see them in the issue. I know some people probably didn't like it, but in the issue with a conversation rather than and I like, him charging up the gloves and then, charging them down, turning them off, choosing, making that choice. That was super dope. Dude, to
Yes.
me though, man, my favorite part was like all these little bits of bat tech that we got throughout. Like I just it's like
I knew
corny
you
and
were gonna love
cheesy, but I
that.
loved it. Like I love the little like particularly like the butterfly moment there, with just like the little light on the fingertip, the Alfred AI, the
Ah,
like all that stuff was yeah, what?
let me stop you right there. So this has been a heavily debated thing amongst the comic book community. That's not an AI. Matt Fraction had to come out and basically say that Alfred that he's talking to, not an AI,
So
not a
Alfred's alive.
hologram. What's that?
Alfred's alive. Alfred's alive again.
I don't think that that's what he's saying either. I mean, if the story and what Batman is dealing with and thinking about is true, This could be a
Okay.
Batman that's dealing with his trauma, or
Okay.
inversely not dealing with his trauma.
Heard that. It felt like I guess just because of the way Jimenez drew it, you
I thought
know,
the same thing. It
it
wasn't.
looked more like it looked more like kind of like a tech spectral than like a ghostly spectral. You know what I mean? Like I guess
Totally.
in that sense. But yeah, dude, I loved all the little bad tech. It was my favorite part of the comic. I thought they did a brilliant job, kind of, you know, I even love the part where he turned the car along and it moved and then people freaked out. That always works for me ever since I
Yeah.
was a kid. So, yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. What was your favorite part of the story in this new version of the Batman?
It was really the moments where he's in his head, but I think it's the hard line that he draws. I mean, it was kind of the mission statement of the issue, right? It's the hard line that he draws with the therapist saying like people don't change, and then him getting to the end of the issue and having the aha moment. I mean, I feel like that was the biggest thing for me that made the issue work. And again, that's the thing I want them to explore. Was it cool to get, the electro gloves? By the way, that image, does it make you think of like Henry Cavill from Mission Impossible, like doing the machine gun cock in his arm kind of thing? Because that's exactly what I got when I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's freaking cool, man. That's such a good pose for that character. But more so than the gadgets, more so than everything, it was really, yeah, the mission statement and someone proving Batman wrong. I think that's going to set him on a course that's going to change him.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, so excited for issue 2. Didn't Fraction say something about this being more about kind of self-contained stories and less about continuity? Like there's going to be a through line with this character, but he's not going to be, worried about um trying to tell some interwoven tale over, 50 issues or something. Am I right
That's
on
what
that?
Yeah, no, that's what I've heard
Okay.
as well, and that's what I've gathered from like the interviews that he's been putting out and stuff like that. It's going to be more, dive in, have fun with Batman. Sure, there'll be an overarching story, but like you don't have to, be there from the jump to really have fun with what's going on.
Yeah, man. And I know from Hawkeye, like he can adjust to different writers so well. So if he sees those curveballs coming and can adjust his storytelling, I think we'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I think he's one of those guys who's really well liked and well respected in the industry. And he's just going to have, I think, a bunch of dope people lining up to work with him. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, and another cool thing from the interviews that he's been putting out, like I mean, first it's Matt Fraction. So like if you're not excited about that or if you don't have faith in that, like I encourage you to go back and read just about anything Matt Fraction's done. Like I don't think there's a bad example out there. But he was really praising the editorial team behind from the Bad Office. And when you hear that right from the jump, that's really encouraging. So that goes to show, again, there's a lot of reasons that DC is doing things right now, but when you have creators that are coming out there vocally saying like the editorial team has really made this more, or made it easy for me to create something and made it more than what it would have been otherwise. That's awesome. That's exactly the way it should be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, chat. What did you guys think about Batman #1? You guys picking this one up and looking forward to #2, or how did you feel about the introductory issue? I'm a Batman slut, so I'm here for it. Real quick, let me get to any comments I might have missed. Guys just talking to each other about different stuff. Zero said, "Hell yeah, oh yeah, dude, same. I love Fraction. I can't wait for round 2." All right, moving along from an intro to a grand exit, a grand exit with the finale of Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, issue number 6. Ron V, Anand RK, Mike Spicer, Aditya Bidikar, dream team of creators and collaborators.
Jeff Dekal on covers too.
Jeff Dekal on cover A's. Another series with amazing variants. Shout out to Simpleton. I know the homie knows. So yeah, dude. Basically in short order, Mitch Shelley is reborn with the Phantom Stranger there to greet him into Samsara. It's just basically them on this construct outside of space and time now, and Gasha Dekoro is on the way, and it's basically about him facing off with Shisha and with Gasha Dekoro, and what happens at the end, and will the universe perish, or will it be able to find its way and be reborn? And we get that answer in a way that only Ram V could give it to us, right? It was just beautiful, and also, man, just Anand just doing incredible killer work throughout, but here just really truly did some incredible things. I think also, like, especially in the last few pages. But a finale that was every bit as good as this run has been. Totally landed the plane for me, and that means everything, especially on a tight little black series or a black label series like this. So, yeah, man, it was amazing, and checked all the boxes for me, and uh, I just think a incredible story that you can come back and revisit time after time, and I think is going to give you something different
Oh yeah.
over and over again. So how was the experience for you reading this last issue, bro?
Before I tell you my experience reading this issue, I want to tell you about my experience listening to you pronounce and remember all of the names that occur within this book. And I just want to everyone in the chat, whether you're here live with us, if you're on the rewind, let's just give our boy Stu a round of applause here.
Thanks, man.
For that.
I got to shout out Omega, who really put me on to Gacha Dekoro and like the Japanese myth and all that in the chat a while back. So shout out to y'all, man.
There we go.
Y'all gave me some knowledge. So,
well, similar to our experience with the chat being cyclical, us learning from them learning from us. This book is very cyclical. This is all about the inevitability of events, and I would say that maybe they didn't so much land the plane as maybe they changed the plane. Maybe the plane never existed to begin with, or maybe just maybe we got the plane out of a big bang, right? Which came out of nothingness to create everything.
Spaghettified, as they call it, or whatever.
This book was really cool, and you're right, it is so uniquely Ram V. And in fact, right in the middle of this book, when you think that everything could maybe possibly go awry, but everything works out correctly, I love that Ram takes a moment to basically wink at the reader, right, and be like, I got this, and I don't know if you
talking about this one.
That's the one. We
get a double, my God.
We get a double page spread after Mitch Shelley has basically reignited the universe manifestation tool that was implanted in him and creates a big bang to cause this reignited universal event to happen. And we get the most boring double page spread in the universe, right? But it just builds to then a version of Mitch Shelley looking at the book, a version of the book that we're reading, just to wink back at us as he turns the page, as we turn the page. God, I mean, guys, like if that's not the way you describe a Ram V book, then you have not read Ram V yet, because that's the kind of experience that you get with those kind of books. Again, glorious. This was such a very cool ride, and even before we get to that portion of it too, I love just like the rumination on Mitch Shelley dying and yet coming back, and the conversations he's had with that other version of himself, and like the threat level that is kind of being put forward after your pronunciation is better. I'm not even going to try it. After the threat is coming after them, once it's eaten part of Mitch, part of Vandal, and like has become this all-consuming, universe-destroying being.
Yeah,
it's just so Ramsey.
And I love that conversation that they have. May I devour you? Like, it's so rough.
And no one said he was ever impolite, right? Cannibal, yes. Never impolite, though.
Wow, it's so dope that Ram, based on that yokai, that creature that supernatural creature from Japanese myth, made of the skulls from soldiers, warriors dead on the battlefield, and it's like all the different skulls, and like remember the amalgam of shit like that we got a close up of at one point in time. There was like
Yep.
little doll parts and all sorts of ungodly things attached to it. It's just been a succubus, a devourer, a great nothingness, um, where all existence goes to die, right? Or to perish into blackness. This felt like a little ode to Kirby, little Kirby collage here, bro. To
A
me,
little bit, a little bit.
yeah.
I'd be down for that. Yeah, and that's the other thing we haven't even talked about Anand's artwork here.
Oh
I
my
got to point out
lord.
Simpleton's comment here. Don't touch that black ink with your fingers. I did, and I don't apologize for it because if it was okay for Mitch Shelley to do with his copy of the book, then it's okay for this guy right here to do. So you
Yeah.
have to deal with that.
Yeah, but the ending itself was brilliant with like the whole concept of like love pulling you through the fractal microverse or whatever, the recreation, and um just what was it, like issue 3 or 4, when we that we kind of spent the whole issue inside of that relationship,
Yeah,
really.
where she is. Yeah, where she kind of devises the way for everything to happen, and he
Yes,
has to.
he has to
Yeah.
ghost her, like it's oh man, it was just brilliant how he brought it full circle, and like you know um seeing them like literally surgically implant him that in him earlier and stuff like that. It was just beautiful how he brought it all to bear, and then like trapping Shisha in the moment, much how like Shisha, tried to trap him in the moment when he used the human target to evade it. It was just
Yep.
brilliant how all those threads and strings from earlier issues were brought together here in the finale. So
Well, and let
brilliant
me ask
book.
you this here real quick, man. We talked about this issue. We've talked about this series a lot. I don't think we've taken a week off where this book has been out there. Does this feel like a DC book to you?
Um, yeah, and like the sense of like a British invasion type of style, like a
Okay,
like a
well
Black
okay.
Label. What I think what they're going for, yeah.
Okay, well let me rephrase it. Let me say it in a different way. Does it feel like a big two book to you?
No, it definitely has. I mean, it definitely is all independent energy, I think.
Yeah. If anything is going to give me faith in the relaunch of Vertigo, it's books like this.
Mhm.
This rings like something that should have been a Rom V solo title. This should have been another follow up. We gotten Many Deaths of Layla Starr. We've gotten Blue and Green. We've gotten what's the other, Rare Flavors. This feels like something in that same vein. It feels something that belongs in the indie stable, and it's not. And that really, again, more kudos to DC for allowing a story like this to be told, because this
And
is
brilliant.
way out of the norm.
Absolutely. Just gorgeous. And like you said, shout out to Anand RK on artwork. Just absolutely unbelievable job through and
Yeah.
through. And here in the finale was no different. The showdown with Gasha
So good.
Dekoro and the rebirth of everything. It was madness, man. So
Yeah, and for all of you art collecting fans out there, go check out Kinetic Collectibles, Anand's artwork. It's crazy. And
this
it's
guy this guy owns a original piece of artwork from this book.
Yeah, trust me.
I don't well
I
not
wanna
this
I wanna
issue,
keep my
but this
mouth
series.
shut and be like, and I just want to get every page, but it's more important that everyone gets a piece of the pie.
He does. He
Uh,
have he has super affordable prices as far as
yeah,
original.
yeah. Go get yourself a page of this because it's worth it.
Yeah, amen. Incredible book, man. One of the best of the year. Like I said in my video, man, it's absolutely brilliant. So,
You talking that Fresh
um,
Ink video? Is that what you're
yeah,
talking?
man, absolutely.
Fresh Ink. All right.
Simpleton knows what time it is. Absolutely, bro. One of the best of the year.
Yes, sir.
All right. Moving on. Our last book of the night, man. It was kind of like slim. Besides the ones we mentioned earlier, it was hard to find like feel like a good solid third book for us to talk about. But Everything Dead and Dying, Tate Brombal, written by Tate Brombal, art by Jacob Phillips, I know Aditya's on letters. I forget who did the colors on this one. Forgive me. But yeah, this is basically another little zombie tale. Set out kind of Walking Dead vibes, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Set out with this town. You know, we meet this man who eventually this gay couple who get married and establish a life for themselves, kind of against all odds. Not in any super harsh sense, but like they definitely face their challenges and kind of like establishing themselves in their town. But they eventually do so. Have a daughter, and then this zombie sickness takes over, and it's really about our introduction to life uh, in this zombie apocalypse, right? And this guy has done his best to maintain appearances, and it's kind of like haunting and tragic in that way. You have this gay man who's really fought for and established this amazing life for himself with a partner and a child, and then that all gets taken away from him with this epidemic when it hits both his partner and his child, several pretty much everybody else in the town. It seems like there's no other living folks. We'll get to that in a minute, but there are at least no other folks in the town's vicinity. And he's making it work. He's running a farm. And he's feeding these things meat and trying to keep on keep on life as normal or appearances as best as he can. He doesn't have it in his heart to kill his partner and his daughter. So yeah, Jacob Phillips on artwork doing some incredible work. I love him in horror, man. I think he has a great knack for it. I got
Oh,
one
yeah.
gnarly scene in here. We'll get to it in a second, but yeah, it was parts. I think parts of it were really like um dope and new and something that I'm super interested in. Parts of it felt a little tropey with the zombie thing, you know what I mean? But regardless, I'm excited to see where the story goes, and it definitely was a solid first entry and enough to keep me hooked for issue two. How did you feel about it, bro?
I loved this issue. I
Yeah,
thought I had high expectations for it. I didn't know if it was going to be like incredibly like mind-blowingly good, but I was just like, man, this team feels really strong. I'm excited about the premise of it, and it exceeded my expectations. Like I think it did something that's really cool. And you're right, it does when it comes to the zombie aspect of it, it does get a little bit tropey, but when you have decades worth of zombie media that's out there, on top of the fact that, in my personal opinion, I think that horror is the most forward thinking of the genres. I feel like they really stretch the boundaries of what you can do in a story. And if you're doing that in zombie fiction already, things are going to be explored, right? There's going to be a lot of things that get, kind of rinse and repeat. That's the whole reason we have tropes. But I think this does something that's really inventive, and I think it's really exciting that the way that they do this, because it's kind of similar to what I was talking about with Batman. It's a very introspective issue about a person that is either learning to deal with the outcome that he's been delivered, or again running away from being able to deal with that. Either way you interpret the reality of that, I think you could argue that maybe he might be running away from it more so than anything.
yeah,
But yeah, I love the back and forth that we get in this issue, where we get Jacob Phillips showing us the like what had happened in the past, right? Him waking up his daughter, her reminding him, don't forget Mr. Ducky, going through the paces of like the perfect version of a
yes,
day. And then we get the juxtaposition of that with what he's doing now, still reliving those moments, but like doing it with the zombified versions of his daughter or with his spouse, and going through all this stuff. But like I think it really rings true with the characterization and that Midwestern farmer mentality that you really get from these characters, because you could feel like he is just like putting it on his shoulders and saying like, this is the cards I'm dealt, and this is the way that I'm going to deal with it. Like this is the way that I'm going to move forward with life, because I don't know, it feels arguably a little bit like something that could happen, as outlandish as that seems.
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I love these moments like here where the art hasn't fully transitioned over. You know what I mean? You can't tell like all the way like what's going on,
Hmm.
but you know it's something like dark and awful. I love the way the color work too. But yeah,
Pip Martin, by the way, on colors.
nice. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, excellent work. Um, and then, dude, at the end of the issue, the postal worker comes early, and we get, dude. Nobody does blood and guts like Jacob Phillips, man.
Freaking
It's
gnarly.
so awesome. And then yeah, we got these folks from out of town, and our boy's got blood all over his face, and he's got to deal with the outside world.
Yeah, he got a
And
face full of reality right there in that
yeah,
moment.
absolutely. So yeah, crazy ass ending again. Great horror artwork from Jacob Phillips and Pete Brombal, right now, kind of emotionally deep already and complex and nuanced little zombie tale over here. So this one was solid entry, and excited to see where number two goes, bro.
Yeah, and let's give a shout out to the Norman Rockwell esque image that we get for that cover page.
Oh
That
my
is just
lord.
it is so striking, man. Like, and again, it's not a traditional like, ooh, I'm a comic book fan, I'm totally gonna get that. But there is something that just I don't know, just like really, really stands out for that cover, man. They're like the font choice is really great for the title. Jacob Phillips doing awesome work on here. The colors, like everything about that cover, really like if I had no idea that this was coming out, it would make me really stop in my tracks and go, let's check that out. I got no idea
Yeah,
what it's
that's a
about, but
great call, dude. The font is fire.
it
Yeah,
is. It's so
it
good.
looks so good up there in the clouds. Yeah, his dad did a variant, and I got to say, it's cool. It's got the top half of it is like a tractor going over this kind of dirty, bloody earth. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's got all these birds flying over it. It kind of looks cool and ominous in that way. And then like the bottom half is just this kind of like zombie face, and it's cool, but it's not. I gotta say, I think Jacob definitely went up to his old man on this one.
Our boy Jacob is like he's really making his own path, right? After being like, like coming up in the game, being a colorist on that. I gotta say, man, his artwork is it's really stupendous. I really loved it from that Texas Blood, and it's continued to get better and better and better as time has gone on.
Absolutely. Yeah, Zero, definitely recommend it. It's definitely intriguing and going to be interesting to see this old man's path in life now that he's got to deal with these outsiders, and he had lost everything and was literally just, I thought one of the best, most tragic lines in this. I think I have the here he's doing the work, right, and the
Hmm.
bell rings. And is that the day already? The
Yeah,
bell rings. You know what I mean? Just like doing his best to keep his routine. It's heartbreaking, but also impressive, man. Guy's hell of a farmer.
yeah, and
Guy's
it's not just his family either. He is keeping this
the
town
town
going.
fed. Like he is feeding all these folks meat. So yeah,
It's that
man,
farmer mentality, right? That's what I'm
absolutely,
talking about with that characterization. It works so well.
it does. Absolutely, well said.
Yeah.
Um, all right, I think yeah. Oh, so we keep that one on
Let's keep
YouTube.
on showing that. Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube are getting frosty about that one. I'm moving on to our covers of the week, bro. Talk to me. Who is this? That looks like
Go ahead,
a
say the
foreign.
name.
Aha.
No, no. Come on, man. Yeah, you talked about Hawkeye. I showcased his variant cover for Superman last week. David Aha doing
Oh yeah.
Batman numero uno, like the artist that really like made. I feel like it's one of those premier titles with Matt Fraction with what they did with Hawkeye. I had to showcase his variant cover for Batman again, like the work he did for Superman, awesome. Work he's doing for Batman, equally awesome. Like it's just a really striking cover here. It's a gosh darn tragedy that it's a ratio variant though, so I can't
I
say that it's in
know.
the
All of his
PC.
R's like these days, man. Like all of his joints are uh, it sucks. But
It's okay. It's fine. The
he
artwork
did
is
a
still out here to be appreciated.
he did a killer one for Invisible Man last week. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't. Oh wait, maybe. Okay, I probably did because I know I looked through all of them and they all looked really cool.
It's like, you know, got all this like gray and yellow in it. It's just all pulpy. It's noir.
He's like
It's
kind of front and
so,
center, right?
yeah, and he's like, "You fools!" He's saying
Yes.
something like "You fools" or something on it, but it just looks like straight out of like a strip from 1930 or something. It's brilliant.
Yes, I do remember that one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles here again. Juan Ferreira still just doing the variant cover, but
killing that.
like, look at that, dude. Like, I was not. I'm a big Casey Jones fan. I think that Casey Jones is like he's probably one of my favorite characters. I like fell in love with the character right from the jump when the movie kicked off. So when April took on the mask and the hockey stick, I got to say I was a little bit like, but where's Casey? I need my Casey. That cover is crazy cool though, man. That she looks lethal. She looks pissed off. She looks ready to freaking rock and roll and get a little justice for her man that was put into a coma. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Captain Planet and the Planeteers, man.
Is that Sienkiewicz?
No, that's Christian Ward.
Oh shit! Hell yeah,
dude! Like quietly doing some really cool work here. Like the actual book itself, again, Dynamite is like kind of sort of doing great things with a couple of their books that they're putting out here. Their licensed work. It's kind of awesome, but the cover work on Captain Planet, man, Christian Ward doing some really, really cool things that, again, if you're a Christian Ward fan, like you should anticipate this, but it was dope for me, man. I had to choose that one.
Is that a variant or cover A?
That's cover A.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. He's doing cover A's for this?
Yes. Hold on one second.
That's sick. What a great cover A artist. He's awesome.
He's doing cover A's. Let me just double check though. Let me make sure I'm not misspeaking here. Captain Planet, he's our hero. I'm sorry, let me take that back. This is a variant. No. Yeah, this is cover C. Not a ratio variant, but still a variant. My bad.
Oh, yeah. Omega says he's a sucker for... Oh, yeah. He's awesome, dude.
Yes, good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pink Kansas Society. Man, can we talk about what a flop this issue was? I didn't even put it on the recommended or the worth mentioning because this was such a letdown, guys. I love this series from Peter Warren and Francesco Mobili. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
I've loved it. It's been brilliant up to this issue when we got just like the like biggest whimper of a battle, and then like this inexplicable you know turn of events so that they somehow got themselves captured just walking up a staircase essentially, which is just bananas. But the battle was all out of sorts. It just felt like a shortcuts and lazy writing, and that's not what this series has been. It's been these great characters and interesting relationships between all these all these different friends, and growing up since childhood together, and how this event that we've been dealing with, this supposed character's death and the ripples from that and all that. And it's just been one of my favorite series of the year. And I feel like this issue like almost single-handedly sunk it off of my best books of 2025 list, dude. I don't know.
Wow.
We'll see how the I just felt like it, and we have like 1 or 2 issues left. We're almost done, I thought. So.
Well, and that's the problem. Yeah, so we only have 1 issue left, and that's where this really falls short. It's the penultimate issue, and dude, Nick's review, Nick Comic Culture, his review for this really said it perfectly. He said, "I'm not going to waste my time reviewing a book that I'm going to spend more time telling you about than I took for me to read it." Period. Yeah. And it sucks because this is a great series. Like in this issue, yeah, I can't say that it's like ruined my level of enjoyment, but as a single issue experience, this really was a bummer. It was 1 action scene and an end, and that was all. That's all we got.
The action scene was busted. I thought like
a little bit mid, yeah, a little mid,
yeah.
But John Pearson's cover.
Yeah,
was awesome.
Shout out to John Pearson, incredible artist. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I had to shout out the cover on this one. That was pretty awesome. I'm still optimistic they can get this series ended.
Turned around.
Yeah, we got 7 really great
We
issues. Like,
did. I know. We'll see.
yeah,
I
you don't
just
sound convinced.
we'll see.
Yeah. All right. It is Panosian time. Yeah, Batman had a lot of cool covers on that came out here for the premiere issue, the new #1. But our boy Dan put out one of his bangers yet again here, surrounded by bats, with an interpretation of the Batman and the bat suit that only Dan could do. So I had to spotlight him because here on Ink and Insights, it's always Panosian time.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Shout out Dan the man. All right. For me, I had to go with the Batman #1, Totino Tedesco.
Love that dude's artwork.
Dude, this is just incredible. There's a virgin variant out there somewhere that probably costs a bajillion dollars, but he's going to be doing variants, I think, for yeah, like at least the first portion of this run. So I'm super excited about that. A
Heck yeah.
la his incredible work on Daredevil, right? E?
Heck yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that first couple arcs that he was doing the cover work for. Mwah, so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, in that same vein, Ricardo Federici doing this is the Adventures of Superman, that Philip Kennedy Johnson book. I just love like the painted style here, but also like kind of how dark and menacing this one is. Soups doesn't
Mhm.
always come off that way, and this one I like the way it plays with the shadows, and the red glow in the eyes is always killer. So
Every once in a while, Clark has to tell him what's up,
yeah,
Somebody has
dude,
it crosses that line.
absolutely. Speaking about great variants for Poison Ivy, dude, Gabriel Delato did this one. Uh,
That's Delauto?
yeah,
Dang.
I love this one with the skulls and all that. So super dope. You can't go wrong with really any of the variants for this series as it is.
What would
Um,
you call that in the background? Is that foliage? Would you consider that a shrubbery?
yeah, that's shrubbery slash crime scene.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. Alex Ross Timeless covers are dropping. I guess even more Timeless covers, but I love the Havoc one. They're throwing these on all sorts of random ass titles, bro.
That's the thing that
Like,
bothers me, man. I would love it if there
yeah,
was, like, a cool X Factor book that had Havoc on the cover, but, like, I bet this is, like, ASM or something.
and it's something I forget what I pulled it from, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
because it doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
no, it's totally crazy. These were all over the place, but yeah, of the ones that came out last week, this one was my favorite. So shout out Ross, one of the best doing it. Um, this I don't know about I haven't this Timeless Wave hasn't grabbed me like the first one did. I think the first one was the best one. So um, yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see what
there's a lot of money that needs to be invested if you're gonna, like, go all in on the timeless variants, and I think for myself, wisely, I decided to forego that. I let that train just pass me on by.
yeah. I just bought a few. I didn't buy all of them. Mark Brooks doing a killer Weapon X Wolverine variant. I just love this one. Him tracking blood through the snow. This was just badass.
There's
Um,
something about that Wolverine in the snow that, like,
yes,
always works, man.
right?
Dude, there's a great video. Francis Manipul, if you don't know, the artist on like the Rockefellers recently, he has a YouTube channel, and there is a tutorial that he does where he does his own painting of Wolverine going through the woods, and it's very much akin to this different angle, and obviously like his artistic qualities. But I would encourage everyone, and you too, I think you would really enjoy it. Go check it out and like actually look at what he is able to put on paper, man. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, will do. Um, it's a Rooster says it makes no trails. Makes no sense. I saw it as him tracking, something he had already wounded through the woods. That was kind of like running in a little zigzag pattern. But
Isn't that what they say when if a grizzly bear's attacking, you run into zigzag? Is that what that is? I don't know. There's something you got to run
like,
into zigzag pattern. Maybe it's an elephant. I don't know.
yeah. And then Wooly's got a little blood of his own there. Yeah. Yeah, that Federici one is super dope. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Omega said people are confused with Alfred Prey. I had to go back and see if I missed something. Yeah, I definitely thought it was AI just because of the way the way he looked in that car seat when he was in next to Batman talking to him in the Batmobile. I thought he was like a little AI that was like his assistant type of deal. But
Yeah, I think we were all bamboozled there. Like I wouldn't have known anything if I didn't hear it straight from Matt Fraction himself. So
hell yeah. And then the last two of the week for me, ladies and gentlemen, are freaking bangers. Evan Cagle doing Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma #6 variant. Just absolutely glorious. Also, killing it over on New Gods. So dope to see him, do a cover on Ron V's other book. And then last but certainly not least, Jorge Fornes with this
yes.
ridiculous Moon Knight cover. I love the red skulls in the background and just the old school uh, ancient Egyptian Khonshu look. It's just fantastic. And then like the creepy house on the hill type of
Yeah,
deal
the
at the
silhouette of the
bottom.
house, dude. That
Yeah,
looks
man.
look at the delicate work on that too with the trees and like the
Like how
you
part
know
of it's fuzzy kind of deal. Like it's so good.
yeah.
It looks like it got like pulled off like an old photograph or something. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh yeah, totally.
brilliant, man. Jorge's one of the best doing it. Love seeing his cover work. But anyway, that will be our covers of the week, guys. All right, moving on to our last segment of the evening, comics of futures past. And last week we had Dark Knight Returns, bro. You just followed it up with another banger, bro. I love it. Punisher Born. Talk to me.
Yes, it's only appropriate as we get a brand new Punisher Red Band that is dropping today that we really go back and celebrates maybe possibly the origin, maybe one of the variations of the origin of the man that is Frank Castle who becomes the Punisher. So released on September 3rd, 2003, Born #3 continues to explore the Vietnam aspect of Frank, and we get to dive deeper into the psyche of this character who has like contempt and he has no time or patience for anyone around him whatsoever. He is a man with a plan. He hasn't really become the Punisher yet, but you get inklings. You get suspicions, you get things going on in his head and a voice that is speaking this kind of thing into reality through like the actions that Frank Castle takes. This is it was an interesting storyline for me. I remember reading this when it was coming off of the racks myself, and I didn't know how to feel about it at the time because it was so vastly different, but it still felt very Ennis. But for being a Punisher or build as a Punisher origin story, it felt like it leaned maybe more supernatural than I was ready for. But I think this is one that I really need to go back and do a reread on, especially with correct my memory here. What was the series that Garth Ennis just recently did with Frank? Kind of back in war times again. What was the
Oh
title on that?
shit.
You were hyped on it for a while, and I just can't. The name is totally escaping me.
Yeah, the 3-issue joint with Nick Fury.
It wasn't Get Fury, was it?
It was Get Fury.
Okay. Okay, there we go. So it seems like
Oh,
it's very much in that same vein, though. This is wartime Frank. He's not the Punisher yet, but maybe possibly he is, and maybe possibly he always has been. But the voice in his head is really the driving force behind this kind of thing. And like you see, he is surrounded basically by idiots, and Frank is not a good person, and he lets idiotic people do idiotic things, and it puts them in the crosshairs of
you thinking about that
something.
general?
Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit.
That's the infamous scene, dude. Letting that general get sniped, and it
Yes.
like that was going on in one sense. Not necessarily like that, but like people fragging their superior officers and shit like that. Like it was nasty work out there, man. I can't imagine. I thought it was brilliant to kind of like really, really, really ground his origin and like the beginning of his kind of like psychosis and love affair with death and murder. In wartime Vietnam. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, and that's probably my biggest beef with Marvel and their sliding time scale is that there's some things that are just so intrinsically tied to characters. You know, Captain America, it works because he's always been a man at a time. He goes in the ice and he gets awoken, right? So he can always
Mhm.
be a character that was living and fighting in World War II. But then you got people like Frank Castle, like there's going to become a time where you can't look back to Vietnam. And sure, you can go back to, you can make him a soldier in Afghanistan or something, but like sometimes you can't work that kind of stuff out. Same thing with the character of Magneto, right? If he is not a Holocaust survivor, I feel like you're taking something away from that character, but that also means that you have a finite time with that character as well. Like he has to either forego that and not have that part of history, or I don't know, you got to put him to the wayside because he's got to age, or you got to find some magical way to make that all okay.
Yeah, I think like somebody like Frank's story is a little bit easier to adapt in that sense, I guess, than like somebody like Magneto's, where it's.
Isn't that a
I don't.
sad truth though? Doesn't that kind of suck that we can be
It
like,
does suck.
there's another war. We'll throw Frank
Well,
in there
yeah,
because
it's another guy with another soldier with PTSD. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
It's like that's such a bummer.
It is
A bummer. Bummer, by the way, is not the right word, but it's the one I chose in the moment. So
also, man, this set of covers that we got for this series was like next level. I thought that was such a brilliant concept. The way they do you remember those?
oh yeah, heck yeah, dude. Well, and you know what? That's something I didn't point out here. While it's not the cover artist, but Garth Ennis was the writer, but he worked alongside one of his, one of the co-creators or whatever artists that he worked with quite a bit with Derek Robertson on that property too. So shout outs to Derek Robertson and all the work that he did on this series.
Yeah, incredible run, y'all. If you haven't read it, definitely check that one out. Great pick, dude. Great pick, on fire here lately. Love it.
Lot of good books that came out on September 3rd.
All right, from the comics of the past to the comics of the future, what are we looking forward to this week, folks? I will say, Absolute Batman, guys. Holy shit. Fucking nuts. Awesome moment. Read
moment?
that thing with
singular moment?
Well, just my jaw hitting the floor and it not coming back off of it until I was done with the comic. We'll put it that way.
My jaw went through the floorboard and then knocked out the floorboards of the freaking basement.
Oh my god,
it was nuts, dude.
Oh my god, and I don't want to talk about it too much because we're definitely talking about that book tomorrow. I know y'all are tired of us talking about Absolute Batman. We talk about it all the time, but I'm sorry. I do love my Batman, and this one, you forgive Dragotta for, like we were talking in the back chat earlier today. You forgive Dragotta for his past transgressions when he comes back on art, and because he just does so many memorable things inside these pages, man. It's just incredible. But this one is this one is incredible. So I cannot wait to talk about this one next week. If you guys haven't read it,
it's a game changer. Yeah,
pick it up. Eat that one up, guys. It's incredible. Transformers, Daniel Warren Johnson's run. And it was, now that I think about it, it was an emotional morning reading comics, bro. It was an Absolute Batman, which got me all jacked up. And then I rode that high into Transformers, and then I started crying at the end of Transformers, like I knew I would. Reading Daniel Warren. The ending, it really wasn't the ending of the story was great. There was some amazing moments. Again, I think that's one we should talk about. But Daniel Warren Johnson's kind of goodbye, and the letter section was just beautiful in that. So, I definitely gotta say that's been one of the comic book highlights of the past couple of years for me, is getting into that property. And IP I really had no interest in, but what they've done with that book has been electric, and it's amazing how they've revitalized that whole franchise. So G.I. Joe, the whole thing, the whole Hasbro kind of umbrella. So shout out to Skybound and everybody involved. It's just been one of the best, most fun things to follow along and be a part of. And I'm so glad that I own every single issue of that run. That's something I'm not going to let go of. And like you said, dude, Daniel Warren Johnson is a Mount Rushmore contender, if not up there. So it's a bittersweet swan song, with him leaving. But regardless, I think it was definitely like a nice fitting goodbye. Nothing too crazy because, like you said, it kind of he doesn't have that finality. How did you put it? You said it a lot better than I could.
Yeah, well, with the stories that we get from Daniel Warren Johnson, like the true, I don't know, the emotion comes from the finality. I think is what I said. Because it is truly an ending, right? If it's not just an ending for the characters in the story, it's an ending for us and our interactions with that.
Yes.
We don't have that ending with Transformers because we know well, first of all, it's an IP, so we know like that ain't gonna die. It's like us getting an ending of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's never gonna happen at this point. We already know Kirkman and Dan Moore are going to be taking over the property. This isn't an ending; it's just a new beginning. So it has the potential to undercut maybe what could have been some form of like true ending. A swan song riding off into the sunset.
Oh yeah.
That makes me wonder, though. So the moon is following us. Done. Transformers. Done. D-dubs. What's next, man? Hit us up. Let us know. I know you're a big dog. You got your YouTube channel. You're selling out like, Kickstarters, making like record numbers and stuff. But you haven't been on Ink and Insights yet. So if you're looking for a place to premiere what your next book is going to be, call us up. Hit us up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bob says Dragotta has a boxing apocalypse book. What?
Yes, David Brothers writing it, I believe. I think it's only a one shot, but it's Dragotta.
That sounds
Come
right.
on, so like, yes,
his kinetic style is going to be sick. Hell yeah, Cul-de-sac number 2, absolutely.
Yes.
I wish that book wasn't so hard to get your hands on. But my shop is kind of over a bad idea, unfortunately.
I think a lot of shops were over a bad idea.
Yeah. Hey Jay, thank you, man. Good to see you, dude. Thank you for saying that, brother. Hell yeah. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, dude. Nothing feels better than crying after a good comic. Am I right? Nothing better than a book.
Maybe a couple of things. I don't know, but I'll take it. I'll take what I get.
All right, bro. I've rambled long enough. What are you looking forward to, man?
So much. Absolute Batman banger, yes. Batman Dark Patterns. Of the books that are not listed on here, Redcoat though. My favorite of the Ghost Machine books, man. I love this freaking story, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Mostly because of that little thing right there. First Ghost prelude. First Ghost being the property that Brad Meltzer is going to be writing within this little mini universe of Ghost Machine. So I'm really pumped about that. Superman Kryptonite Spectrum, guys. Come on, like.
So good.
Crazy. In the back chats, I referred to it as assorted Superman events because it's just that kind of book, maybe. Conan the Barbarian. I talked about Savage Sword, man. Conan proper, getting back into the Serpentine story that we're going to be dealing with. Stu, can you tell me who's on that cover? You don't even need me to do that. It's already on the thing here. Who's doing that cover?
Dan the Man.
Goddamn right, it's Dan the Man. Last but not least, something that I was able to pick up that just showed up in the mail. It's not anything here, and it's a comic, but it's not really a comic. But Charles Burns's latest Risograph comic that was released here through Partners and Sons. Yes. So I can't wait to open this up and dive in and see. It's Charles Burns. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. I can't even think of a better way to even state it. But if you've read things like Black Hole, like you already know what you're kind of getting into. Can't wait to find out what's going on in here. So yeah, I think that's my shout outs.
Yeah, shout out Charles Burns, one of the best doing it. Hell yeah. We got Daniel Warren Johnson in the Absolute Batman annual?
On the annual, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I want that solo D-dubs though. I want that all D-dubs, like at least like a 12-issue series thing going on.
Oh yeah. Bob recommends the Hero Trade.
That's David Latham and Matt Kint, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh hell yeah. What a great creative team.
Yeah.
And Zero says I love every Ghost Machine title I've read. I'm blanking collecting them all. Dude, they've all been so good.
I've had to let some fall by the wayside, if I'm being completely honest.
What have you let fall by the wayside?
Hyde Street kind of stopped.
But I'm still reading. Like I'm not. I think I had like the first 2 or 3 of Hyde Street, but I'm still reading that and enjoying it. You're not reading it?
Nah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. But trust me, there's probably books that I'm still reading that are up to that same quality. But I think I had expectations for that book that was a little bit different. Same thing with Rockefellers. Love the artwork. I like the
Okay, I
premise of the
have dropped
story,
out.
but it kind of, yeah, it kind of wasn't going anywhere. And I'm like, all right, well, come on, get to the point, get somewhere. But
Yeah.
like Geiger, Redcoat, Rook, I'm never gonna miss those. Like the Jeff
Yes.
Johns books that are coming out, like outside of Hyde
I
Street.
think that's a fair statement. I think I can agree with that statement, I guess, more than what my original one.
Yeah.
Because I have dropped I did drop Rockefellers, unfortunately.
And what was the other one? It was aimed more
Hornsby and
for.
Halo.
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
a different readership.
Oh yeah. But dude, can't wait for the return of Rook. Can't wait to meet the Spider Wardens. Fuck
Yes.
yeah. It's gonna be
Yes.
so sick. I just love that world they built. But yeah. Hell yeah. So I guess that's our show, guys. As always, hold on. Let me get our info out. You know where to find us. Patreon.com/AkinInsights. We just dropped our new newsletter, issue 3, last week, featuring editorials. We got some great interview clips there from our talk with Tony McMillan. He also has his studio space featured there. You know, you can get little insights into like his working environment and his must-haves when creating cool stuff like that. So make sure you check us out. He worked super hard on it, and we're all proud of the work we put in on it. It looks great, and we got some great content in there. So make sure you guys check it out. Other than that, you can find us on the socials, Dr. Doom's Fan Club, 9 Panel Grid, and at Comic Culture, and then Nick underscore comic underscore culture. And then E is NINE on for 9 on IG. So make sure you're subbed up and following us there. I know most of you are. Most of you guys subscribe to the Patreon too for free, which we appreciate you guys, you know, being there and supporting us there. We just try to give you guys great content week to week, right? And put some love and positivity back out into this world. Hell yeah, dude.
This is what it's all about, right there. That's what it's all
McMillan
about.
rules, man. And Tony is such a cool, awesome individual. So
Yeah,
happy to support him and great to see him getting supported. So yeah,
absolutely.
man. I just want to say before we get out of here, a lot of darkness and atrocities and stuff like that going on all over the world and in our country and stuff like that every day. And um, you know, I don't want to talk about that because I feel like we all get inundated with that. But I just want to say, encourage everybody out there to move with love, to respect one another, to try to do your best to you know take an extra second, and not get upset in traffic or in the grocery line or whatever it may be. You never know how much a small kindness may go to change somebody's day. I know it sounds corny, but it's real, and we're never going to really get things solved or you know heal together and really get back on the same page unless we're willing to sit down and have conversations with one another. So we got to stop yelling and shouting, you know, and you know learn to live and love one another. And you know, not to be too corny with it, but I just felt like saying that tonight. I feel like we always try to come out and promote love and positivity to you guys, you know, every week. So I just ask that in return, you know, take you know some of the energy that we're fostering here and put it back out into the world, man. That's the only way that we're going to turn around and change things. Because I feel
Absolutely,
like
dude.
we're really lost right now, and you know we all got to do our little part. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's easy to lose sight of it, man. But like the reality is that society is the culmination of all of us, right? So do your best, be your best.
Absolutely, absolutely. But as always, as I said last night, thank all you guys for coming through and spending you know 90 minutes with us once a week, twice a week, whatever it may be, live on the rewind. We appreciate you guys, even if you're not here with us in the moment. Whether you're you know you're catching us on the flip side, we appreciate you guys coming through. Encourage you guys to move with love and light out there, you know, and truly, you know, treat you know your neighbor, the stranger on the street, as you would your loved one. Only way we're going to turn things around.
Before we take off here, can I offer maybe one more moment of positivity? Maybe one more moment of I don't know,
Let's do it, bro.
putting something back into the universe. Can we talk about a new video that's going to be dropping this Friday here? Yes, me and Nick from Comic Culture here. Stu unfortunately wasn't able to join us for this go around here, but he was there in spirit. He was there in our thoughts. We had the opportunity to sit down with the creator of books like Hydra, books like Drome that just came out. Which, by the way, go buy and appreciate and just enjoy the heck out of Drome. It's one of the best things that I've read all year. I think Stu, you probably agree with me on that front. We had a chance to sit down with Jesse Lonergan and have a real cool conversation with him. That's going to be dropping on 9-Panel Grid this Friday morning. So be on the lookout for that when it comes out here. So again, more goodness coming from the Ink and Insights crew as much as we are possibly able to. So
Yeah.
I hope you all
It's
enjoy it as
incredible.
much as we enjoyed making it and putting it out there into the world.
Yeah, it's an incredible conversation. Can't wait for you guys to see that. But yeah, absolutely. So check that out for Friday. Until then, we'll be back next Tuesday. What are we covering next Tuesday, bro?
Next Tuesday is how to review comics the Ink and Insights way.
Ooh.
So be on the lookout for that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, catch us on Notes from the Editors, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and Ink and Insights over here on Wednesday night. Again, thank all y'all for coming through. Rooster, Omega, Jay, Zero, Bob. We had Phelps in the building. Who else? We had Simpleton. Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget somebody and regret it. But yeah, I just want to thank Pete. Pete, thank you for coming out, brother. Rogue in the building. Yeah, thank all you guys for coming out. We love y'all. Until next time.